The Faron region is a strange and ominous place, and what lurks within this forbidden land is even darker. Remains of a lost tribe, giant dragon pillars that seem to stare back at you. This tribe is mentioned as the Zonai, but something tells me this isn't the same people we are familiar with. These people were something else entirely. It's said that they were barbarians that wielded powerful magic, but that thousands of years ago, this civilization suddenly vanished, with the only remaining evidence of their existence being the massive stone structures that they once constructed. This has become the greatest theory of Hyrule's ancient past. What was their secret, and where did they go? This is the quest to find the cause of their disappearance. The Jungle Barbarians, Part 1. Who were they? The Zonai of the Faron region were a strange tribe building massive structures all over Faron, and even other places like Typhlo Ruins, which seem to be some sort of town. The architecture is almost exactly like the architecture of the Zonai we are familiar with, so you're probably thinking that these people were the same Zonai we see in Tears of the Kingdom. Well, there's a couple things that show these people were much different and didn't even look the same. But first, make sure to like the video, and if you're enjoying it, I would appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button, as we have a goal to hit 2,000 subs. Anyway, back to the video. These people didn't just leave behind structures, they also left behind armor. A massive bone helmet with 2 twisted horns, pieces of fur and leather. There's no doubt that these people were indeed barbarians. But the structure of this armor doesn't match that of the Zonai. There is no place for the ears, and it's too small for the Zonai to wear. It appears that this was made for someone more human. But why? It says that they wielded magic, just like the Tears of the Kingdom Zonai, and it was most likely the same kind of magic. These people have so many connections to the other Zonai. They are also very different from them. But none of this tells us who they were, or does it? The answer we are looking for may lie in a distant era. The ancient past tells of a story of beings or even gods descending from the heavens. These people were the Zonai. The Zonai then helped Hylians build the land we now know as Hyrule, and together these two races prospered. But there's more to the story than what is told. The first king and queen of Hyrule was Rauru and Sonia, a Zonai and a Hylian. Zelda came from this bloodline, so Rauru and Sonia had to have kids. But what were their kids? And what was the offspring of all the other Zonai and Hylian marriages before the Zonai went extinct? This leads us to our answer, the answer that has been in plain sight all along. The offspring would be a combination of the two, possessing the ancient power of the Zonai but bearing a face of a Hylian. I believe this is who the Zonai of the Faron region were, seen by the fact that the armor is meant for someone more human, and by the fact that they wielded magic just like the Zonai did. But there's one more thing in case you aren't fully convinced. The architecture is that of the other Zonai, but it's made out of this more normal stone like the Hylian structures, showing connections to both races. But who they were hasn't fully been solved yet. We still have no idea why they lived in the jungle, or the bigger question, why they disappeared. There's no doubt that this hybrid race living in the jungle had many strange secrets, including why they disappeared. But before we look further into that, we must uncover the reason they chose to live in the jungle in the first place. But the thing is, they didn't just live here, they worshipped here. More specifically, they worshipped the lightning dragon Farosh. It's possible that these people were more spiritual than we thought, and the reason they lived here could very well be because of Farosh, or they were told by the goddess to do so. Either way, it makes sense, seeing that they helped the other Zonai build structures to aid the future hero, which they wouldn't have done unless they could somehow see into the future as the Sheikah monks did. Though the question of why these spiritual beings vanished still remains, and the fact that we don't know much about them makes it even harder to try to answer this question. But wait, the idea of a mysterious tribe that vanished a long time ago isn't something new. In fact, we've seen it many times before. Whispers of something else, somewhere else. After the events of Ocarina of Time, Link finds himself in a strange land after falling off his horse. After spending much time in this land known as Termina, he begins a quest, racing against time to stop the Skull Kid, who was possessed by a mask, Majora's Mask. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know this story, so let's go in a different direction. The history of the mask. Majora's Mask was created by an ancient tribe. Sound familiar? The mask was used for rituals, but due to the mask becoming too powerful, the ancient ones sealed the mask in shadow, preventing its misuse. But then the tribe vanished, and no one knows who they were, or why they were in the land. But wait, there's more. Now we journey to a different land, the land with which Twilight Princess takes place. Within the game, we find an alternate land to Hyrule, the Twilight Realm. Various things take place in this realm, but one important thing is this relic known as the Fused Shadow, which was also made by an ancient race. Now let's take a closer look at this item. While looking malicious and evil, we can spot out a couple interesting details. First off, the eyes are exactly like the eyes of Majora's Mask, and it also has holes in it like Majora's Mask. Now let's say this isn't a coincidence, and that these relics were made by the same people. We still need to make a connection to a different tribe. See the material of the Fused Shadow and the design? Does it perhaps remind you of something else? No? Well, look at this. The same exact design. The design used by the Zonai of the Faron region. What if the reason there's so many connections is because of something much deeper? If we go back to the disappearance of the Zonai, it's clear that they vanished on purpose, because there was no other reason they would have done that. There was no possible threat to their civilization. They had to have chosen to do it. So the theory that I present to you is that they had the ability to travel somewhere else. But not only that, travel to somewhere else in a different time. The evidence that they were in the Twilight Realm becomes even more clear when you look at the magical essence that is used to power the technology in the realm. An ominous green color, the same essence used by the Zonai. Now, why this essence is present in the technology, I don't know. It's possible that the Zonai showed the Twilight their secrets and helped them build technology with this magic. So without further ado, here is the answer we've been waiting for. Thousands of years ago, a hybrid race of half Zonai, half Hylian come together in the barren jungles of Faron. From there they worship the lightning dragon and become aware of their calling to help create great structures for the arrival of the hero. But after their task is done, they receive a new calling from the goddess to travel through time to fulfill another duty in the land of Termina. And once their task was done, whatever it was, they traveled once more to the realm of the Twilight to create an item and use their magic to create great technology. That is the story of the hybrid race, the tribe that fulfilled their duty to the goddess. And perhaps one day, when they are needed again, they will return to Hyrule. But until that day, at least we know who they were and what their mission was. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video on the mystery of the Jungle Barbarians. I had a ton of fun making this video. And don't forget to keep up with all the theories, tutorials, and analysis.